How you guys doing? This is a video to, I think this is going to be one of the first legitimate videos that I make towards other people, and a message that I feel like I need to send out. So, I feel like it's a good thing for me to say that no matter how positive somebody might seem, and how much they may seem like they get life, and based off of how many books they read, and all these philosophies they have, and maybe even the background of the resumes and things that they've gone through, how wise they seem, and that can be me. That could be your perspective on me, on how wise I might seem, some faults, some pros, but more pros. This person seems like he knows what he's doing. He seems to know what he's talking about. It's important for you as an individual to yourself to understand that you talk to yourself in a different way. And that what other people say, it's good to listen to if you can relate to it. Because those people talk from a different type of perspective. And even if it may seem that they're pretty individualized and not as of a cookie cutter person as most of society is, like I might seem like that, or somebody else that that you might be thinking about when I'm saying this, they're still in that mold, because society, community, I'm talking this language that is of my community, and I'm saying things and directing it towards a community to get something out, particularly in a certain way, that I wouldn't really talk to myself. You know what I'm trying to say? And so when I'm giving my opinion, and you guys really agree with it, it's important that those people that are listening listen with their own ears, and they take from what they believe that they can take from it. And more importantly, or as importantly, this is just saying the same thing in a different way, you need to take the raw data that you're receiving in your own thoughts, and be careful not to comply with society, and to get confused about the thinking, the mass consciousness mind, and confuse your mind with that. For example, in your job, in which you're in a certain community in your job with your friends. You're in a certain community there in which you talk to each other and how you communicate, and it's important to differentiate your mind with that type of mind, because there will be a time in which you feel like that mind is the way you think, and you won't be able to communicate well. And that's the reason why in my videos I always usually say, like, this is a video for myself. What I'm trying to get across there, I'm not trying to block you guys out or say, don't listen to what I'm saying, this is only for me. Why are you making these videos public if they're only for me? That's not what I'm trying to say. It's just like how I can communicate with my society, and saying that I talk to myself, and I don't want you to look at this video and act as if I'm trying to tell you something that you need to hear, or change your mind because of what I said, that you need to what's the word? Agree with what I'm saying, and kind of mold yourself into what I'm saying because you think what I'm saying is agreeable, which is good to think what I'm saying is agreeable. But I want you to be careful and see in the deep sense why you think what I'm saying is agreeable, why you agree with it. It's your own life. And you agree with it because you have that sense of energy in you in which you can match up and feel like what I'm saying makes sense. You know? And I try to talk and make as much sense as I can to society so that I'm not communicating in a kind of smoky way or kind of like an opaque way where it doesn't seem as if I'm as transparent, because I want to be as open as transparent as possible, and I want people to see me as a person that is open, and they can understand people individually, but always come back to that deep sense of who I am in this moment, which is all the time, you know. And so I just felt like I needed to give that message, that when you're on your way to listening to motivational speakers and to people who have all these philosophies and tell you, read their books and use all these tools, like these principles that I use, for life, for your purpose and what I do every day and all these things, that's great. You need to follow those people because you need to hang out and think like those people that you want to be, if you want to be a certain person. You hang out with those people who are like that, right? And, but it's important to have that, that monk mindset. Not because I'm saying that and that's right, but it's important. What I mean by monk mindset is that mindset in which you are still and you are in yourself, and you're not confusing all this form for you and for what people are saying as if it is your identity. It's important to have a monk mindset, which isn't really a mindset at all. It's just isness, right? And what I'm saying is still mind, it's still form. What I'm saying is all mind, and it's appointing more, It's I can't really explain a monk mindset besides experience it and try to tell you about what that means. Which it's meaningless and it's really hard to explain. But what I'm trying to say is that when you go into that positivity and hanging out with those people who are network marketers, who are real estate agents, who are motivational speakers, who are CEOs, who are people who seem like they travel all the time, and they do, and they have all these things and all this positivity, it's important to hang out with those people, but it's important also to first hang out with yourself all the time, and for that to be the basis of yourself, because those are little, as unegotistic as they may seem and as positive they may seem, it's still an egoic system. If you're not able to go out of the matrix and see it from a no perspective, a perspective in which is the basis of perspective, the basis of all form, because that is a place, not really a place, it's really hard to explain. That's not you can't objectively find, but it's you, and it's always there. It's unchanging. So knowing that sense in which you do, that sense, it's always there because it's the only thing that's permanent. It's unconditional, and it's something that can never be lost. And it's important to differentiate that and to see that bloom. It's awareness, so that you can go through life and society and speak from a point of a stillness, of a point of clarity, the definition of clarity. It's the clarity of what is, and it's important to go from that perspective so that you're able to actually live a happy life. That's something that I've experienced, and I want people to experience and to understand that they are experiencing themselves. I want people to understand that they are their own gurus and that their own motivational speakers, that people are their own bosses. and I'll make this video and you can relate to it. But more importantly, I want you to relate to yourself than the video. I want you to relate to yourself and to see where I'm pointing to, which is in this moment, right here in your heart. Okay, that's the best way I can describe it. But it's a place in which you've always known, and that you can only know yourself. I know it myself, and I want people to know that they know it, but you can only know it with yourself, not because I'm talking about it, I listen to a lot of spiritual teachers like Mooji, Sadhguru, Adyashanti, Eckhart Tolle, and there's a lot of things that they say that I can relate to. But in the end, that's the way they talk, and that's their own mind. And it's important that, for me to understand that that's not my mind, and that what they're saying is not the way I think. Even though what they're saying can be very wise, and can be, breathtaking and relaxing and so meditative. But in the end, it's always going to be me. I'm not going to always have them. And watching them is temporary. What they say is temporary. The spiritual teachers, gurus, they try to point you in the right direction. And they try to use the right tools as much as possible. The good spiritual teachers that are contemporary, meaning that in every time which is modern, they use tools that are ancient and that have worked for thousands of years. And good spiritual teachers try for you to experience that yourself. And so that's what I felt like. I felt like I had to make this video about that. Everybody have a wonderful day. I know that everybody is doing what they're doing. They're in their own ways, but you all are very amazing.